Good morning, everyone. Eye on Israel today when we're looking at end time Bible prophecy this January 17th, 2014. I want to thank a viewer and a subscriber of mine, Jackie, who sends me this article. This is a breaking story. Now, for those of you that are looking at end time Bible prophecy and a peace agreement to be signed, I don't think Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is in any kind of peace agreeing mood today. Here's a headline. I'll put the link below. Netanyahu slams EU after Israel envoys censored over settlements. Envoys in London, Rome, Paris summoned in protest over West Bank building. Prime Minister calls move hypocritical, says pushes peace further away. Again, I will put the link to this below. It's quite a long article, and I'm not going to read the entire article, but let me just bring you some of this information as we're looking at end time prophecy this morning. Shortly after returning from a meeting in Amman with Jordanian King Abdullah, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu lashed out at the EU on Thursday, accusing it of hypocrisy in condemning settlement construction, but not the Palestinians for incitement or continued terrorism. Netanyahu's anger was sparked by an apparently coordinated EU move to summons Israel's ambassadors in London, Paris, Rome, and Madrid this week to protest the recent announcement of construction of 1,400 housing units in the major settlement blocks and Jerusalem neighborhoods beyond the pre-1967 lines. Let me continue on just for a moment here. Calling the claim that settlements are an obstacle to a peace agreement bogus. Netanyahu, speaking at an annual reception in Jerusalem for foreign journalists, blasted the EU move and asked when was the last time the EU countries called in the PLO ambassadors to complain about incitement to Israel's destruction or to protest that security officers from the Palestinian Authority were participating in terrorist attacks against innocent Israelis. I think it's time to stop the hypocrisy and inject some fairness in the discussion, he said, adding that the EU imbalances does not promote peace, but actually pushes it further away because it tells the Palestinians that they can engage in incitement and terror and not be held accountable. The Prime Minister, who took only 3 questions on topics he was informed about in advance, stressed that the settlement announcements did not breach any commitment to Israel, that Israel rather took upon itself when it entered the talks with the Palestinians last July. Let me read that again. The Prime Minister, who took only 3 questions on topics he was informed about in advance, stressed that the settlement announcements did not breach any commitment that Israel took upon itself when it entered the talks with the Palestinians last July. It was clear to both the Americans and the Palestinians that Israel undertook no restraints on construction, the Prime Minister said. This was an unspoken, unwritten part of the deal that was very clear to everyone. Adding a few houses will not change the map an iota, Netanyahu said. He asked if Palestinians were looking to create an ethnically cleansed state. And I will put the entire article below, above the comment box in the Show More section. Breaking story today coming out of Israel. This is from the Jerusalem Post. Netanyahu slams EU after Israel envoy censored over settlements. Leave me comments, everyone. God bless you. Please subscribe.